Hey guys, how's it going? Ali here, and today we're going to be breaking down how this digital app has been absolutely dominating on Facebook ads. So let's break this down. This is Opal. It is a find your focus based app. And what that means is the way on your iPhone you can disable an app for a certain period of time, but it's really easy to just re-enable it. Opal does that on steroids. So once it blocks an app for you, it will not allow you to turn that app on until you have stopped running its due course within the Opal app. But what I want to do is break down the ad strategy in more detail. So we're going to do a couple of different things today. We're going to go over what ad mix they're looking at, what they're using, how they're using it, and taking like some examples and breaking those down as well. Why would you trust what I'm saying? First one is experience. I've been within the marketing space for 8 years. I have been working with leading brands like Samsung, Huawei, and more recently, I've been working with direct-to-consumer brands along with ad agencies to help them in building out their ads. Secondly, I have a proven track record in doing this, done this now for clients in the multi-million spend. I want to say high 8 figures at this point. So been completely analyzing which ads are working, which ones aren't. And finally, I'm an agency owner myself. So I've co-founded an agency called AdCrate.co. We work exclusively with e-com and digital product-based brands to help them with their Meta ads and TikTok ads using Ad Creative. Okay, so an overview of the ad creative that the Opal app has been using. You've got 4 different pillars that are broken down. That's statics, motion videos, UGC videos, and short form videos. So let's go into statics. And the way I'm going to show you this today is by going into this app called Foreplay. Now, Foreplay is a monthly subscription, but you can see ads from other brands and how they've been performing. So I simply go into brands, using search, I'll write Opal. There we go, the #1 screen time app. And from here, I can see all of the ads that are running within their Facebook ad account. I can see how long they've been running for. So if I click this, I can see this one's been running for 5 days, March 20th. Today is March 25th. I can see some of these ones which are grayed out and they are not running. It was running just for 1 day. That means they, for any reason, switched the ad off. Maybe it didn't perform. Maybe it was meant to be for a specific period of time. But you can see the full mix of ad creative that they have been running. And what I'm going to do is run by filter by the longest running. Okay, so now I've filtered by longest running. So now we can see what have been the most successful ads. Objectively, you would say the ads that run for the longest time were the most profitable because they showed actual performance, which is why they were running them. If they weren't, then they're just spending random media dollars on these ads, which wouldn't make sense for an app like this. Many big brands do that. However, an app like this, it wouldn't make sense. So the first one is we are going to go into the statics and specifically how those have been doing. Let's show you. In their top 5, I can already see one static, and this is such an easy one to execute on. It's from the Notes app. The font of this tells me it wasn't made natively within the iPhone Notes app, but you can recreate it directly from yours and screenshot it. Or in this case, they've possibly made it on Figma or Photoshop. We've done this too. And the only reason being is it just lets you customize it as opposed to going on your iPhone, going in the Notes app, screenshot, uploading it. It just makes it easier to have it as like a base template within Figma. So that's what they've done here. You've got a clear headline and it feels very native to the app because this is exactly how it's shown. You've got a headline, introduction of finding Opal, a few benefit breakdowns, and then a call to action. So really simple, but you can see this was running for 6 months. Beautiful. A second one they have is this before and after format that I also saw, and I will bring myself closer there so you can see. So this is the before and after, and what they've done here is you've got kind of the black and the blue to contrast against each other. You've got the use of emojis, which is showcasing like this is the bad, this is the good, and then you've got 3 points. I like the fact that they've done 3 points here because it's not too little or not too much because it's just a good balance to have. And here you can see 25 hours on social media per week. Open Instagram 120 times per day, got nothing done. So clearly there's a pain point here. And then benefits. These are tackling against the before scenarios. So they're not random benefits. It's literally tackling what was said. So 25 hours before, now 3. Opened it 120 times, now 4. I got nothing done. I finished my work early. So it's clearly contrasting and showing you the perks of using the app instead. Now, what I would have done over here is actually add a call to action or a button over here like discover Opal, download now, download for free, just to see those signups. But potentially they already ran that as well. Whatever it is, this has performed 135 days in terms of performance. Okay, and then we have the third image that I really like, and it is also a before and after. Now, this one is a little bit noisier in comparison, but they've done a really good job here. Because what you can see is they're using the native app within the iPhone to showcase your screen usage. And you can clearly see daily average of 6 hours. Now it's 1 hour 48. And try Opal 7 days for free. Now, I would run a couple of things differently over here as well. That before and after, I would really showcase like a color contrast as opposed to there being a gradient in the background. The try 7 days free text is just a little bit weirdly formatted. I'll do a clearer buy now call to action, download now, try for free, that kind of thing. And even over here, you might give a little bit of guidance of like what you want to be viewing, because a lot of this stuff doesn't actually need to be seen. Like this whole second half isn't really adding to the image. So you would have gotten rid of that. And I would have highlighted or with an arrow, literally said like daily average there, daily average there. So it's really clear cut. But even then, this one has performed. So 107 days, just over 3.5 months. So really strong performance over there. Let's go back to our slides. The next format I want to show with you is motion videos. So again, let's go back to 4Play. And there's not too many motion videos within the Opal account, but these are really easy to execute on as well because just the amount of effort that is required. This is still currently performing for them. And if you take a look, it's been running since September 2023. So that is more than 6 months in terms of how long they've been running this ad, which is really impressive. Let's actually take a look at it. Turn the music off and see if I can just play this at the same time. So the first thing they've done here is just a combination of the image static that clearly was working for them as well. Now, maybe this was made first and then they turn it into an image static version, which is great because they were iterating, or it was the other way around. But regardless, you've got a mashup combination of loads of these screenshots. And there you go. They've even done like small details there. It says iPhone 3 on the top there. And very clearly, you see like someone's name show up, Josh's iPhone, Ayush's iPhone. That's probably just like their marketing team's names. But you can very clearly see like this feels like it's from different phones, which is really nice to see. Oh, and also it's really obvious what they're showing. It's the daily average screen time. If you have an iPhone, you would immediately know. But then it moves over after just like 3 seconds, which again is really good for retention because 95% of audiences don't even watch your entire video. And within the first 2-3 seconds, you've lost the majority of your audience anyway. So what they've done is immediately switch over to the next point versus showing a combination for 10 seconds. Because at that point, it just wouldn't make sense for a lot of people to even stick around. But then it's showing that it's been blocked. So that immediately creates a contrast. And you're like, I wonder what's happening over here. And then you get this really cool animation motion video off the app. And again, this isn't very complicated, but what they've done is a nice zoom out and you can clearly see focus, excellent focus. You're distracted. And there's different props that are shown there. So you immediately understand what the app is. If I had never seen this app before, it still makes sense to me. Okay, now here's another format that I've just seen within 4Play, and I thought this was really cool. And it's still currently live, but it's been running since December, which is really cool to see. And it looks like just a screenshot, but there's a few different things that they've done over here. Number one, they've made it look a bit cleaner because you can see like it's blended against the background. Number two, you've got a very native TikTok style text there. My first 8 weeks of dopamine detox. Immediately you're understanding what is being shown. So that's super crystal clear. And then they've changed this a little bit as well, weeks with Opal. So again, this is a tailored format. Looks really good. Let's play it. Nice. So over time, you're seeing how the graph is going down, the daily average is going down, and the use of sound as well. It's like this ASMR sound, clicky clacky, going down over time, and you're very clearly seeing the progression. So that is really cool. And just very, really clear cut as well. It's basically screenshots, but added on with a bit of motion graphics. So yeah, those are two just quick examples of what these guys were using. Let's go next. Over here, UGC videos. So this is our bread and butter here at AdCrate. And let me show you what they've done. Their first 2 videos over here are UGC formats. So let's actually go over these because they follow a really simple structure, but it's worked really well. So this is the first one. Let's take a look. And again, it's not currently running, but it was saved on 4Play 4 months ago. And it was running from May to December of last year, which is really strong performance, 224 days specifically. Let's play it.
It told me that I check my phone every 3 minutes.
My best friend told me about Opal. It reduced my phone time by 3 hours. Opal blocks apps for me during my work and sleep hours, so I literally cannot click into them. It tells you how much time you spend on your phone and also how often you pick up your phone. I've literally never felt more productive. And the thing about Opal is you can't bypass the limits that you set. Opal helps me focus on what actually matters in life. I did not realize how much I needed this. Download Opal to see how productive you can be.
Okay, now let's go over this ad very quickly and show like a bit of a breakdown of what's happening. You've got a really clear hook there that's showing the before and after. So you're immediately seeing a little bit of like the benefits. So she's gone from checking her phone to now reading a book. You can make this a little bit stronger as well by having it even clearer before and after, but this still does a good job, especially with the text headline that's over there with the mind-blown emoji. Moving over from there, you've got a simple introduction of what her problem kind of was and introducing the product. So my best friend told me about Opal. It's now done this for me. Immediately there's a benefit over there. Here's the feature and breakdown. So this is what it actually does. And now it's working for me. This is exactly what the app does. So once she's shown that, she's now shown what her life benefit has been. So first it was the feature, and now it's actually shown the benefit. So she's gone from this is Opal, it's reduced my screen time, here's how it done it, but now it's gone into the benefit. I am now feeling more productive. From there, there's another feature. You can't bypass the limits that you set. So it's reinforcing how good it actually is. She's clearly doing other things now as a benefit. Was really nice. You've got some shots there where she's not just at home speaking to a camera. You've got a bit of B-roll laced in there as well, like her running and just doing more things, which has been kind of an advantage now that she's had Opal. I didn't realize how much I needed this. Clear call to action. Download now. See how you can be, how productive you can be. And then there's an end card. And that's really cool. Boost productivity instantly. You reinforce the message. There's a headline there. Try the #1 focus app today. Amazing. And 2022 Apple app of the day. So they've done 3 different call outs to reinforce the messaging of how good this app is. And if you're sticking around to the end to 38, 39 seconds, you're most likely going to see this part as well. So it just reinforces again why you should download the app. Really strong, really nice. Here's another one. This was also running for 200 plus days. Let's take a look at this one.
This app instantly cured my phone addiction. When I first downloaded Opal, it said I was on track to spend 22 years of my life staring at my phone. That's insane. This app reduced my daily screen time by 3 hours. Opal is this new app that blocks distracting apps so you can boost your productivity. Opal will automatically block the apps that I choose while I'm working and sleeping and won't let me use them. The iPhone does come with a screen time limiter, but it is so easy to bypass. I didn't realize how much I needed this. I haven't felt this productive in years. Download Opal today and see how much more productive you can be.
Okay, so this is awesome as well. And what this one does really well in the structure is it actually counters a question that people would have around the halfway point where they would say, yeah, but I can just use the built-in app that's available on the iPhone. But no, she actually tackles that right there. It's so easy to bypass. So yes, you've agitated a problem, but now you're also countering a question that someone may have about the product. So that's really cool and done in such a simple way. Now, this is the final UGC video I want to show you guys and how it's made. It's so organic and simple. And this one's currently still running. It has been running for a while now. Let's just double check this. Since October of last year. Nice. And the way it's shown is super organic for TikTok. So let me show you what I'm referring to. This ad right here.
So I have ADHD and I got this lockbox to help me focus. So I put my phone in here and I lock it away. But when I posted about it, everyone was like, no, use an app, like just use an app. But I was like, I'm too strong for the apps. But apparently the apps have gotten stronger. And I started using this app and the copywriting on this app. I tried to open Instagram. Sorry, Instagram can't join your quest. Grow with passion, not is blocked. But here's a haiku instead. Warm touch, tender hug. Screens cannot replicate love. Life connections true. This is by far, this is what made me make this video, is I actually really like not having a phone because Christopher Oppenheimer.
Okay, now this one is genius because it feels so organic and native. This creator has done such a good job. She's really emotive on camera. She starts off really well. I have ADHD and I got this lockbox. Immediately people like who either have ADHD or they have the lockbox, they're going to be enticed to view this. And it doesn't feel like an ad at all. So introducing the product really well because it's like everyone else is recommending it, but I'm too good for these apps. But then I found this, look at this. And the way she's sharing the app as well is very like in a realistic way. It's just a screenshot with a green screen as opposed to, you know, her getting all this cool B-roll off the product. So it's just done in a really native way. And this works. You can see how even she moves around on screen, which feels really TikTok-y. So it's just a great edit overall as well. I think this is a great job. But I want to show you the last section now, which was short form video. Okay, so take a look at this. This is such a simple ad to produce. It's B-roll with a text overlay, and we have seen this dominating client accounts. Some of the ones that we've made for this have spent nearly $500,000, and they are still scaling. So these have done really well. And this particular one has been running since February of this year, so not too long, about 33 days. But just take a look at how simple it is. Let's just hit play.
Addicted to adult content, social media, streaming websites, Opal changed my life. I'm less anxious and my screen time is down 70%. Studies show that reducing screen time improves mental health and boosts productivity. Block distractions with Opal. Try it for free today.
Okay, so look at the structure. Nothing else is happening on screen. There's a text overlay that feels really native to like TikTok as an example. And very clearly they used AI voice just as a voiceover, just to add a little bit more emphasis. So addicted to adult content, social media, streaming websites, immediately tackling that pain point to grab someone's attention. Introduce product, but not just say, you need to check out Opal. It changed my life. I'm less anxious and my screen time is down, giving the benefit. Now there's a bit of a scientific study. Studies show reducing this helps mental health and productivity. So it's reinforcing the message. And finally, an easy call to action. Phenomenal. This works so well. People overcomplicate with really long videos. Include something like this in your media mix. It works really, really well. All right, now let's get to the fun stuff. There's a specific ad I want to show you, which is how Opal came onto my radar. And I just think this is one of the best ads I've ever seen. And we are already inspired creating a style of this. Take a look at this one.
This is not an iPhone. This is a $3 trillion military-grade lethal weapon aimed straight at your brainstem. If you're watching this, it's because your most primal needs and impulses are being weaponized by to get you to give up all your precious minutes and hours down to the last second. This is done with an invisible asymmetry of power. Tristan is the foremost expert on this, and you should watch his whole testimony in front of Congress, but the bottom line is this. You are being fucking harvested, and no one is coming to save you. But all hope is not lost. Hear me out. We all have 24 hours in today, and we all have commitments and human needs, so the time that we're left with is the most valuable. With this, we can steer the course of our life or create new memories. But how much of yourself do you feed to the beast against your will? You could take full control of your life at any moment, but you have to fight for it. Now get the fuck off of Instagram.
Such a good freaking ad. Now, there's a couple of things this ad does really well. Number one, ridiculously eye-catching hook. I mean, just take a look at this. It's just that montage of iPhones. It's just really eye-catching. And then this is not just an iPhone. So you're immediately like, wait, what do you mean? A montage, $3 trillion. You're like, what are you talking about? Tanks. You're connecting iPhones to tanks. It just creates so much curiosity. The use of statics, it immediately it reels you in. And then it keeps you hooked and engaged. Look at how quickly clips are moving. Now, I wouldn't say this applies for every single video for every single brand, but where your audience type is on the slightly younger end, you can do this, especially for that younger audience. When you go older tier, especially 40, 50 plus, you want to keep it a little bit simpler, a little bit slower pacing. But in the context of Opal, this works so well. Animations, quick graphics, quick edits, phenomenal piece. So this is a prime example. And the beauty of what the Opal team has actually done is they have created iterations of this. And that's what I would have suggested as well. So if we go back to the top over here, take a look at this. The first one.
This is not an iPhone. This is a $3 trillion military-grade lethal weapon aimed straight at your brainstem. If you're watching this, it's because your most primal needs and impulses are being weaponized by
Still here, watching this ad on Instagram. Please, you've already watched it 3 times. It's time to
So
shut
that's
it off.
cool. I think they could have done a slightly better job over here by being like, it's time to shut it off. Just go download the Opal app. It's time. Like, because this clearly is appealing to a retargeting audience that has already seen the original ad. So that's one thing I would have done. But then take a look at this other version. Same ad, but now with the creator giving a reaction to it. Really simple format, great iteration. Okay, now there's a couple of different things they could have done in this ad, and we'll go into that as well. But first, let's talk about how you can measure successful ads and when you're doing competitor research. Number one is using an app like 4Play. Like I've just shown you guys, you search up for the brand, you can see their ads and how long they've been running for, and it gives you a good representation of ads that were successful or weren't successful. And then secondly, you can go into Facebook Ads Gallery, just go into page transparency, and from there, see the ads that other brands are running too. And that's, I guess, is the free version of that. But it's more difficult to see if the ad is successful or not. 4Play gives more insights and data. All right, now how would you improve something like what Opal is doing? The first one is innovate. So these guys are dominating and doing such a good job with this already, but I would experiment with even more ad styles and formats. You could do stuff like advertorials, which is showcasing like a journalist or a third-party publication, which is talking about Opal and its benefits or giving it as a recommendation. You could take that screenshot and then put it up. You could do something like a founder's ad. They have a founder. It's not a team. It's one individual. So you can very easily start rolling founders ads for the brand as well. And that will give them just a bit more credibility because you've got a face to the name of the brand. And then if you go on the website too, you've got these examples, like these stats, 94% less distracted, 93% increased productivity. Like you should be using statistics because even in press releases, publications, everyone loves looking at statistics. It's just in human nature. So that works really well. Data-driven refinements. So build performance iterations on their existing performance. They already have a huge role of a huge backlog of existing top performers. What they should be doing is iterating upon them. You keep the video as it is, but add on new hooks. What's stopping them from getting these short form style videos like this and then combining it with a video that's already working really well like this? So it's an easy lever to pull, and they should be doing more iterations. I can see they're already trying some, but I think, yeah, you can double down on that for testing purposes even more. And then my final pillar here is targeted content. Right now, it's all around, I was struggling with using my phone too much, and now I'm not, thanks to Opal. But I think you could go into more of a niche audience. And they have tried this a little bit, but I think you could do a little bit more. Like, I was always wasting my time. I was always going on shopping, or I was always playing games on my phone. So you could hit very specific pain points of like app categories instead and see how that performs and resonates versus just more of a broad approach. And that lets you tailor the messaging as well. So yeah, that is just a overview of what Opal is doing and a bit of a dive into the ad strategy. If you found this useful, do let me know. And you can always work with me and with my agency as well. So if you're a brand owner looking for consultancy or you want to work with my agency, send her an email, ali@adquay.co, reach out to us, and we'll love to talk. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments, and that's it. Catch you next time. Bye.